came to our house at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a knife on me, and I had Emily with 911 dialed on her phone, ready to go. Our first 6 months in Japan was probably the most chaotic thing you could possibly imagine. We were living out of suitcases, we were renting an Airbnb that was pretty close to our renovation, and every single day was spent coming to the renovation, working as hard as we could on this house, while also maintaining a pretty strict practice for music and live show schedule. So as I covered in a previous video, we had been traveling to Japan for probably around 2 years, building connections, and that's how I was able to get the real estate agent to buy this house. That's how I was able to secure a management company and a record label deal, which ultimately got me my visa, and I covered that in a previous video, so if you guys want to check that out, please feel free to. And so this story starts when we received our visa acceptance letter in the mail, and that was such an insane day. Like, it was such a long time of my life that I was waiting in anticipation for a moment like this. And when we finally got it, it was honestly one of the craziest things of my entire life. It was like so many years of just like hoping and praying for this thing to happen right in my hands. And it's something that I could just never experience again, I don't think. It was such a beautiful moment. When we received that notice, it was May 20th. And our rental agreement in Los Angeles was a month-to-month rental agreement, and I didn't want to spend another $4,000 on rent. So we put in our notice to leave June 1st, and that very same night that we got our visa, we booked our one-way tickets to Japan. So that meant we had an entire 2-bedroom apartment full that we had to pack up and get ready for overseas shipment and do all of the other things that we needed to do in order to move, including selling a car, selling off all of my extra music equipment, selling off or donating all of our furniture and extra goods that we had, all of our kitchen stuff that we didn't need. We had to do all of that in 10 days. Honestly, we were making really good progress. In the first few days, we were able to sell through most of everything that we had. But we had 2 things that were causing us a lot of grief. One was our car, and 2 was my electric drum kit. I didn't want to just get rid of the electronic drum kit. It's a really expensive piece of music gear, and I feel very strongly about buying used music gear and then selling it, in the future for the same amount that you paid for it, because it's such a good piece of equipment, so that you can buy more gear that suits your needs. So these were the 2 things that were really holding us back. And it went down to the final night. And that final night was something I will never forget. I think we worked for 16 hours straight that day, packing up and organizing things. We had people coming and going from our house, haggling us from our door. It was a crazy day. And then finally, the day before we left for Japan, I get a message on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And this guy wants to come and pick up my drum kit at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're not from the United States, I'm gonna tell you right now, this was sketchy as fuck. He came to our house at 2 o'clock in the morning with cash, and I fully expected the worst. So much so that I had a knife on me, and I had Emily with 911 dialed on her phone, ready to go. Thankfully, he pulled up and everything was good. He was actually a really, really nice dude. He had actually just moved to Los Angeles, was looking for some music gear to jam with him and his homies, and that very night they had rented a studio maybe 30 minutes away from my house, and they were gonna take that drum kit, go to the studio, and jam. Maybe one day that guy will see this video. Shout out to you. Hope that kit served you well. And then it was down to our car. And literally the day we were leaving, we had somebody confirm that they were going to buy it. And they were a friend of ours. So we were able to take that car literally hours before we went on the plane, and we dropped it off at our friend's house, gave all of the paperwork to them, and they were able to facilitate the sale for us a week later when that friend finally moved to Los Angeles. And that was it. We had sold everything, we had packed up everything, and it was so cool to see the entire house completely cleaned out and see all of our stuff just in the corner there, ready to be shipped to Japan. And it was just such an amazing feeling. When we went to the airport, it was a feeling that I'll never be able to experience again, honestly. Like, I feel like I've said that so many times in talking about this story, but it truly is a once in a lifetime moment where you do something like this, where you completely uproot your life, you sell everything that you have, and you go to a new country. Like, it's fucking crazy. It really is. So then we're on the plane, man. We get to Tokyo, we arrive with 2 suitcases full of clothing, my PC, my laptop, my live rig for performance, and then a few personal belongings of Emily's, and that's it. That's what we have for the next 8 months or so. For our shipment from Los Angeles, we actually had them hang on to it in LA for, I believe it was 6 months, and we were paying monthly for that because we simply didn't have the storage for it here. We had rented an Airbnb in a nearby town, and it had a recording studio built into it. It was a very expensive Airbnb, and we had 6 months there, and that's it. So our plan was strip this house down to the sticks, rebuild it back up, and then make sure that it was livable within 6 months. And if you know anything about renovation plans, that shit did not go as planned. Our timing was violently off. I think it was day 2, man. Legitimately day 2 of landing here. We start demolishing right away. We are ripping out ceilings. We are ripping out walls. We are tearing out floors. We are getting rid of the kitchen, getting rid of the upstairs bathroom, completely demolishing the upstairs, like actually down to the sticks, every single spot. We tore this place completely apart, and it took about a month and a half or so of demolition. And at first, it feels like we're making massive progress. You know, we're filling up all of these garbage bags, we're organizing things really, really well. I finally start buying tools to help with the process because in the beginning I was doing everything with just a hammer and a handsaw because of my own mental health issues. And at this point, we realize, man, we're gonna have to organize a garbage run because pretty much all of the demolition is done. You know, I had heard on other YouTube videos and through friends and stuff like that that doing the garbage here in Japan was difficult, but I never expected it to be this bad. I can honestly say that the garbage situation here in Japan for construction waste in this demolition was by far the hardest thing that we have done in this country. It isn't like in Canada where you can just rent a big bin outside of your house and you just tear out everything and throw it in there and you can take it to the dump and deal with it that way, or pay for a company to come and deal with it. We had to tear down every piece of wood to 30 centimeters. So every single thing that we ripped out of the ceiling, we had to tear down to 30 centimeters because we were getting rid of some wood through residential means, and that was the requirement for it. And it took so long. The garbage situation itself almost took 3 months, and we were running out of time. We have an Airbnb exit deadline of December 15th, and I think it's around October at this point. We had been living in Japan for 4 months now, and we hadn't even got the garbage removed. We were completely screwed on time. You wouldn't believe it, but the first quote to get the garbage from my house removed was $4,000. Absolutely insane. That was when I decided to reach out actually on the Canadian in Japan Instagram and ask for help. I've had so many people offer to help through Canadian in Japan's Instagram account, and I'm super thankful for all of you guys. Really appreciate it. But one group in particular seemed very similar to me, and I just felt something good about them, so I responded to them, and they had actually recently did a renovation on their own house, and they were able to connect us with the same people that did the garbage removal for them, and the quote came in at $1,200, and they completely saved the day. The day that garbage removal truck showed up here was one of the most therapeutic moments of this entire renovation. It was so amazing, and we had a bunch of people here helping, so everything just like moved out super quickly. And for the first time since buying this house, I was able to actually see it in a clean, clear state again, and it really opened up my mind to the possibilities of what I could achieve with this place. It was such an amazing day. Shout out to Alex and Quincy, and shout out to CJ for helping with that garbage removal. You guys are the best. Love you all very much. Wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. And that leads us to the next major problem. We have 2 months to turn this place from a complete bare bones DIY to being livable. And during this time, I have festival dates in Korea, so my music schedule is ramping up super heavily. I'm working on my debut EP, and I have so many shows coming in that I have to prepare for. My days were absolutely insane. It was 8 hours of renovation work every single day into another 6 to 8 hours of music work afterwards, and it never stopped. I think I worked 60 or 70 days straight with this cadence since without a single day off. I'm not complaining or anything like that. I would go back and do it all over again, because different when you are doing something that is just completely your own dream, you know? It's not like I was working for somebody else for 16-hour days. This was my own house, my own DIY, my own making, and my music project. So it felt so fulfilling, even though it was such a massive amount of work. I can truly say that those 70 days or so were the busiest days of my entire life. And it's not even close. Like, I have never worked that much on anything ever in my entire life. And I was reaching the point of complete burnout. We had 1 month left to move in, and we didn't have a shower. We didn't have a finished toilet room. We didn't have a bedroom. We didn't have a kitchen. We didn't have a living room. It felt like we were so doomed, and that I had just thrust myself and my wife into a situation that we would never recover from. Eventually, I realized that I couldn't do this on my own, and I had to ask for help. Those same friends that helped us with the garbage came in and helped us with some drywall upstairs. They helped with the ceiling drywall before I put the wood up, and they helped with all types of stuff. I think they were here for 10 days in total, and they worked their asses off and didn't ask for anything. And since then, they've become really good friends of mine, and I truly, truly appreciate them. And it made me realize, like, life is about your community and about your team, you know? It's not just about yourself. You need to reach out and ask for help. It's basically like the same message that I got when I initially tried to move here, you know? I said in the last video, like, Japan is a village system, and man, it really, really and truly is. Like, you need to ask for help. You need to talk about your struggles. You need to talk about your goals and your dreams. And it was when I did that that I was able to actually find the success I needed with this house. And we were able to move forward on the construction way quicker than just by myself. That final month was a grind, you know, all the way up until December 15th. Again, we were here every day, and just by the skin of our teeth were we able to have a toilet room finished, our bedroom finished, and that was it by December 15th. But that's all we really needed. You know, we didn't have a shower, we didn't have a living room, we didn't have a kitchen. All we had was a bedroom without a door and a toilet, and that was the state of this house when we moved in. You know, it might seem really crazy for a lot of people to think that that was the circumstances in which we moved in, but that first night of sleeping in my own house was the most incredible thing in the world. That first morning felt different, you know, like, I'm living here, I'm living my dream, I'm in my own house, even though it's a complete disaster. I've done it, and I'm so proud of myself and proud of my wife, and I'm just so over the moon thankful and happy. But now that we're in the house, we have to set our sights on finishing the rest of this house. On top of the fact that I have my first ever headlining tour in 2 months, and I have nothing prepared for it. This headlining tour is the biggest thing that has happened for my music career when it comes to live performances. I'd never done a headlining tour before. This was like my moment to show Japan who I am, where I came from, why I'm here. And I have just under 2 months to prepare the entire set. That means building the live set, building all the visuals, building the merchandise. I do it all myself, and I feel like I am running out of time while being surrounded in the chaos of this renovation. It's like we finally achieved the dream, and now there's just another impossible challenge waiting in front of me. But I met it the same way that I meet any of these challenges, just completely head on and ready to fucking own. I think the best parts of life are made through struggle. Tearing this place down, getting into all of that hot water with the garbage removal, having the pressure of needing to complete this place in time for us to move in, all while maintaining the live schedule, the performance schedule, the recording schedule. I think that is what makes life worth living. I believe that comfort truly is death, and that's why I'm always doing stuff like this that seems kind of crazy for some people, but it's just how I like to live my life, and I am very, very thankful that everything happened the way that it happened. So if you're out there going through struggles like this, just know that it does get better and that the payoff is always, always, always worth it. I implore you to do the difficult thing, take the difficult path, because the payoff always feels better in the end. Thank you guys so much for listening to my story, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.